Hey guys, it's me Karen and baby Maggie. And this is the story time of the time that I met the love of my life, this girl. This is basically me telling you how my labor and my delivery went. Everyone's story is so different, and honestly you never know what's gonna happen to you. Like, I know me personally, when I was about 36 weeks pregnant, I would look at YouTube videos. I would ask people around me, like, how was your labor? How did it happen? Because you're nervous, because you don't know what to expect. So this is why I'm telling you my personal experience. I mean, other than the fact that I just want to let you know what happened, because I feel like it's a great story. Okay, so I was 38 weeks pregnant, and I went to my doctor's appointment on a Monday. Little did I know this was going to be my last doctor's appointment. And my doctor walks in and she checks my heartbeat, she checks baby's heartbeat, she does just normal stuff. And she walks out the room. When she comes back, she hands me a card. And she was like, come back on Thursday, that's when you're gonna get induced. And me and my mom were just like, hold up, wait, what? Like, I just didn't expect her to see her that soon. It's on Monday, she wants me to get induced on a Thursday. That's literally like 4 days from today. Yeah, she was just like, yes, sweetie, just come back on Thursday, and that's when you're gonna get induced and we're gonna have your baby and all that. And my mom was just like, why? Like, why are you gonna induce her? Like, is something wrong? She's like, no, I really want to stop hitting yourself. My doctor was just like, I just want to make sure that I'm there and I'm present to deliver your baby, because I really want to be part of that experience. She also told me that because most women, the last 2 weeks are the worst for them. So she did not want me to go through all that. Let's just get it over with, have the baby. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what induced is. Induced is when they start labor for you. Like, you don't naturally go through the contractions. You don't, like, they force the contractions into your body. That's what they did to me. I wasn't like me, like I was ready, Maggie was gonna come out. It was like, no, they made an appointment, and that exact day that they told me to go, that's when they were gonna make me have the contractions. That's what induced it. We walked out and I was in the car and I was just thinking about it. And that's when it hit me. I'm really about to meet this baby. Like, I was about to meet you, mama. Like, when I finally captured everything and understood I'm gonna meet her on Thursday, I got so happy. I was like, Mom, oh my God, I'm gonna meet her this Thursday. Like, it's time. And she was kind of quiet. And I was like, what's wrong? She's like, well, it doesn't really go with our plans because I work this week. So I'm not going to be there when you have your baby and when you deliver. And I'm not going to be there the first few days of Maggie's life. And she was just like, I had asked off next week because that's when it was your due date. So she wanted to be with me the day that I deliver, and she could be helping me my first week with Maggie, because like, I'm a first time mom and she doesn't want me to struggle. So she wanted to be with me and help. And things didn't go as planned and I'm gonna get induced earlier than what I thought. She was just very worried, and I was just very excited. And I texted my best friend and I told him, dude, I'm about to have this baby on Thursday. God, like, I was so excited. I texted him, and then I texted my friends, then I texted my dad, and I texted my family, and then I was posting it all over social media. You know, I was just happy. I wanted to tell everyone. After that, my mom was like, are you hungry? And of course, I'm hungry. So we went to go get some Chinese food, and I took a picture right there. That's a picture of me and my belly. I recently went there with Maggie and I took the exact same picture, except with her. I just remember me and my mom talking that day, like, wow, like, we're gonna meet this girl. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was always wondering, how does this girl look? How's her hair? How's her little eyes? How does she sound? How does she smell? I know it's crazy going through a whole pregnancy loving someone that you don't even know. Like, I have no idea who Maggie is, but I love her. So seeing your baby go from nothing to this big old bump, and then to finally know you're gonna meet her, that's freaking crazy. Like, so I was just so excited, and I was telling my mom, like, dude, like, we're about to meet the girl who made us go through everything. This girl made us go through so much, and I'm finally gonna meet her. So I remember I went home and I packed my diaper bag. Okay, so the next day, it's Tuesday, and I went to school. And I had to take the mock start test. It was like the whole day sitting down in this desk. I wasn't comfortable. I remember people asking me, oh my god, when are you having Maggie? When is your due date? Like, oh, I'm gonna have her on Thursday. And they're like, on Thursday? Girl, it's Tuesday. And I was like, She's like, then what the hell are you doing in school? Like, people started freaking out when I told them that, like, in a few days I'm about to have Maggie. Because everybody was so scared to be around me. They're like, oh my god, girl, what if you have your baby right now? What if the baby comes out? Like, they were just so scared. I'm like, no, guys, chill. Like, if I feel some kind of pain, I'm gonna run to that nurse. Like, calm down. Like, Wednesday, the next day, another test. So I went again. And then a teacher had asked me, oh my god, your belly is so cute. When are you having your baby? And I was like, I'm gonna have it tomorrow. And then she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna get induced. And then she was like, oh my god, and you're still coming to school? And I was like, yeah, I gotta take this test. Like, just because I'm about to have my baby tomorrow don't mean I'm gonna miss this test. Like, and then finally, it was Thursday. And I was so excited. And I mean, I could have gone to school Thursday because my appointment was at 5 o'clock. But I was like, I'm gonna have my baby today. What's the point of going to school? Like, late. I woke up like at 12. And I did my eyebrows. And I straightened my hair. Because honestly, I wanted to look good in pictures, okay? And while I was straightening my hair, I was just thinking. Also, today's like the big day, bro. 9 months passed by. Like, I just can't wait to fucking like hug her and stuff. And I was just going back to everything. Oh my god, I remember when I was like 5 months, I didn't have a stomach. So in pictures, I would like stick my butt out and do this so you could see a stomach. And now it's just like there. Oh. I was going back to so many memories. Like, this pregnancy was rough. Emotionally, I went through so much. And it was so hard going through that pregnancy. It was so hard. And I just wanted it to be over. I wanted to meet her already. I felt lonely throughout my pregnancy. And it's weird to feel lonely because you're pregnant. Like, someone's literally with you at all times. But I felt lonely. And it's crazy because all I wanted was to meet her. I wanted to be with her. I wanted to have her already. I didn't want to feel lonely anymore. I wanted to meet who's this little girl who's causing all this. Causing all my hormones to go crazy. The weird thing is, I was not nervous. Like, I was not scared. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't like, oh my god, like, it's gonna hurt. I wasn't like that at all. I was happy. 1 hour and 45 minutes left. And I'm headed to the hospital. I can't believe it. Like, it's time. God. I was not thinking about no pain. And I feel like every mom should think like that. Like, that pain is just at that moment. But that memory, meeting her, looking at your baby for the first time, carrying your baby, giving your baby milk for the first time. So that memory is forever in your mind. Don't think about all the pain. Don't be that mom that's scared. It's gonna happen. You're gonna feel pain. Like, everyone feels pain, but it's normal. You're gonna go through it. There's no reason to be scared of it. Just think, after all this pain, after all that, you're gonna meet your little angel. You're gonna meet your little baby. So be happy. Like, don't be stressed out about it. Pain is gonna last just a minute. That bond of you and your baby, that's forever, girl. I remember that day before I went to the hospital, my grandma made some good ass chicken and rice. I know we're not supposed to eat before we go into labor, but I was like, man, they're not gonna feed me when I'm there at all. Like, I'm gonna go through this whole labor while eating. I'ma eat. So I ate that chicken. Okay, so it's already like 4:30, and on my way to the car, I was just dancing around and I was happy. And my mom was scared. Like, she was scared to death. She hated it when I would dance while I'm pregnant. She's like, cálmate, like, no te duele. I'm like, mom, it doesn't hurt me. I'm fine. I was like taking pictures and recording my way to the hospital. Come on, mama.
¿Cómo te sientes, Mom? Nerviosa. Dile a la Maggie. Hola, Maggie. Soy tu abuela Sonia, esperando que nazcas. Ok, me tienes toda desvelada.
As I told you, my mom works on Thursday, and that's the day I went to the hospital. But she really did not want to leave me alone. So she called in, like, it's an emergency, like, my daughter, you know, she's about to give birth. Like, I need to be there. And they were like, okay, we're going to let that slide. And so she didn't go to work to be with me. But she had worked the night before. So she was really tired and she did not get sleep. So she was in a bad mood. That really affected me so much. But I understand her. Like, obviously, I know when I don't get sleep, I'm in a terrible mood. But at the same time, it's like, I really needed you. And I don't know, like, it kind of sucked a lot. Because I felt like I was alone that day. Because even though she was there, she was just in a bad mood. Because, as I said, I get it. She hasn't gotten any sleep. She's tired. Of course, she's going to be in a bad mood. But I needed someone to be happy. I needed someone to give me positive energy. And no one was really there to give me that. Anyways, we walk in the hospital. So we go into the labor section. And they tell my mom, you can't come in. Only she can come in. You can wait outside. We'll call you in when she's ready to see you. And so I had to go in by myself. I'm here. I hated this part so much. They had to connect me to so many things. I had the IV in me. And then I had something right here checking my blood pressure. And then I had one wire right here to check my baby's heartbeat. And I had another one down here to check my contractions. So I was tied up to this thing. And I just felt so uncomfortable. Like, I just wanted to get everything off of me. And this thing in my arm goes on every like 30 minutes to check my blood pressure. And she just explained to me how I'm gonna get induced. They're gonna stick a pill up there, you know where, and they said that's gonna start labor. And they said they're gonna do it every 6 hours until I have my baby. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And she checked if I was dilated, and it was 1 centimeter. But I've been 1 centimeter for like 2 weeks already, so it was like nothing. I was probably there for like an hour. And I took my last picture because I really wanted to have that last moment with my belly. Another doctor came in. She was like, I'm gonna induce you already. And I was just like, alright, let's go. We're getting induced. It was so uncomfortable. They have to like put like all their fingers to like stick it in and push it all the way in. And when the pill goes inside, it burns. Like, it stings really bad. Like, it burns. For like 3 minutes, it just burns. It's in there and it burns, and I can feel it. But after those 3 minutes, it dissolves and you don't feel anything anymore. But I just hated it. They called in my mom. She's like, you can come in again. And my mom was like, where can I go to sleep? And they pointed out a little bed that was next to mine. So it was a couch, but you could turn it into a bed. So my mom was just like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna try to get as much sleep as I can because I am really tired. And I was like, all right, go to sleep. Like, a few hours passed by, and the doctor walks in. She's like, how are you feeling, honey? And I was just like, I'm fine. And she checked the monitor, and she was like, did you feel that? And I was like, feel what? She was like, you're having contractions right now. And I was like, oh, I don't feel a thing. Like, she's like, not even a little bit? I'm like, no, like, I don't feel anything, like, whatsoever. And she was like, okay. Another hour comes in, and I need to pee. When I go pee, I have to take my IV with me, disconnect the things from my stomach, not taking them off. I have to take those things in my stomach with me. I have to take my IV with me, and I have to take the thing off. And it's so uncomfortable. Like, every time I go to the restroom, they had to help me. I'm like, disconnect all these stuff. And then when I sat down, I have to be careful and make sure those cords don't fall in the toilet. So yeah, it was like a whole situation to go to the restroom. By now, it's probably already like 9 o'clock. And I am starving. so thirsty. My mouth is dry. But I can't drink or eat anything until the baby comes out. Sucks to be me. I'm so hungry, and they told me anytime I get hungry or I want to munch on something to tell them so they can bring me ice. When you're in labor and you're hungry, they give you a cup of ice because, as I told you, you cannot eat. It was not making a difference. I was hungry, but I was like, okay, whatever. She comes in again and asks me, do you feel the contractions? And I told her, like, straight up, I don't feel anything whatsoever. Yeah. She was just like, okay, we're gonna have to induce you again. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Same doctor that induced me the first time comes in with a little pill, and she does that thing again, and it stings again really bad. An hour after that, they come back in and check up on me, and they're like, do you have any pain? And this time, I did feel something. It wasn't pain though, like I wasn't like in pain, but I felt something weird on my lower back. Okay, so I'm starting to feel the contractions, but they're really not that bad. Not yet, anyways. I'm pretty chill. Right now, I feel a contraction, like I feel it, but it's not that bad. I know it's gonna get worse and worse and worse, but right now I'm good. And they're like, okay, that's good that you're feeling pain because that means the pill is working. It's nighttime. My mom is snoring, okay? My mom is snoring. Every time somebody walk in, she would like wake up like, what? But like, she was asleep most of the time. At this point, I honestly start to feel really lonely. This is the thing. Every single time I see a vlog about labor or a story about labor, I would always hear the woman say, oh yeah, my husband, he was holding my hand through the whole thing. And I didn't have that. Because I'm not with the dad. I didn't have that support, that love, you know? And it sucked. It sucked so much. Maybe like I wasn't going through pain, but emotionally I was just so lonely. Fast forward to, honestly, I'm not good with time, so just fast forward to 6 hours later. She's like, okay, we're gonna come in and induce you again. This third pill was the one that made everything so much worse. Like, it was bad, but it was like I can handle it. It's weird because at first it was like, okay, I was feeling contractions every so and so, but this time I was feeling it on my lower stomach. They're getting a little bit more intense, but you know, it's not that bad. I can still handle it, but they're gonna get worse. God, it was hurting, but it was like I can handle it. Cause as I said, I wanted to go on natural. My mom was bugging. My mom was bugging. My mom just kept on bugging me. Put the epidural now before you feel the pain. Because she really did not want me to go through pain. But I wanted to feel it. I wanted to know what it was. Like, it's a once in a lifetime thing, Mom. I'm not about to have another baby soon. So I wanted to feel the pain. I wanted to go through motherhood. I don't know. I just wanted... The thing is, since I did get induced, woo, that was painful. Like, because the thing is, since I got induced, since it was forced into my body, I was having these contractions every 3 seconds. Like, I'm not even joking. I would like feel this bad pain, and I would have 3 seconds. So I would have these like bad contractions, and I would have 1, 2, 3 seconds to relax, and then boom, I would feel the contractions all over again. Ooh. So it was honestly really bad. It was super bad. Like, I only had 3 seconds to actually catch my breath and feel okay. So I was having those bad contractions every 3 seconds. Plus, honestly, this part, I didn't even know that could happen during labor. Never once in any of the videos I've seen have someone said, they got a fever during labor. And it's not no normal fever where you just feel bad. It was a crazy ass fever. I've never experienced a fever like that in my life. Oh my god. I was freezing. Like my whole body was shaking. Like I couldn't stand still. My whole body was just like this. Like my whole body was literally this. Like crazy shaking. My whole body was shaking. Like the bed, the whole thing was moving. Like I was shaking like really hard. Like it was so crazy. That feeling was crazy. But I felt so cold. I felt like my body was freezing. It felt horrible. And I had blankets on me. And I told my mom, I'm so cold. I'm so cold. And she put her blanket on me. And I was calming down a little bit. And then they brought me another blanket. And I was just with like 4 blankets just there like. The lady came in to check my blood pressure. When she uncovered me, and my whole body literally started shaking again. She was like, I need you to like stay still for me. And she couldn't check me because I was moving so much. And I was like, I can't stay still. I'm freezing. And she did it real quick. She did her stuff. She checked me. And then after that is when I started getting really emotional. I don't know if it was because, you know, all the hormones and labor, or just the fact that I just felt lonely, really lonely. My mom was asleep. There's nobody else but her in there. It was just me going through all this pain, that fever, waiting for my baby. I was alone. I just felt so lonely, like, and it was already like past midnight, so everyone was asleep. I felt like no one was there to support me. It sucks going in labor and going through that pain and being by yourself, having no one like support you. And honestly, I feel like I probably could have done it without the epidural. If someone was just there with me, if someone was there with me cheering me on, if someone was there with me and like keeping me, like talking to me, making me forget about the pain, I feel like I could have gone it without pain meds. But since I was lonely, didn't have no one supporting me, I was just like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna get the meds. And I just remember me crying, like bad crying. Like I just felt like no one was there to help me and support me. I felt terrible. Like so many women go through this and they have their husband support. They have their whole family there watching them. And then there's me, that I had literally no one. And it sucked. It was a horrible feeling. I was having all this emotional pain, and then I was having physical pain. Then I had that dumb fever. And I remember just crying so hard, and the nurse walks in and she sees me crying. And I obviously like wipe my tears and act like I'm not crying, but my eyes are obviously red and, you know, swollen. She was like, does it hurt? And I was like, yeah, it hurts. And she was like, are you okay? And I was just like, no, I don't feel good. And she was like, what's wrong? And I just told her, like, I feel lonely. And she was like, look, sweetie, you feel lonely right now, but that's just right now. When that little girl comes into your life, you're not gonna feel lonely anymore. She's gonna be with you. She's gonna help you go through everything. She's gonna be there. She was just like, trust me, when you have that baby, you're not gonna feel lonely anymore. And that really just made me think, like, damn, like, you're right. Once I have that little girl, I'm not gonna feel lonely. I'm gonna have someone that I can go through things with, that I can live my life with. Since I've had Maggie, I haven't felt lonely. I'm always with her. I love her, and I love being with her. I love being with her. I don't feel myself when I'm not around her. I know it's the middle of the school year, but I still every day miss her. When I'm not around her, I don't feel good. What she said was so true. So the lady had asked me, so do you want to get the epidural already? I told her, I'll let you know in a few minutes. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, I'm already going through physical pain and emotional pain. Why go through both? Just get rid of that physical pain, you know? Why make this harder for myself, you know? I'm gonna just get the epidural so I can at least feel a little bit better. She walked in again. I was like, okay, I want to get the epidural. And then she was like, okay, we'll be right back. And then she walks inside and she was like, oh, well, you can't get it right now. The doctor that puts in the epidural is not here. And I was just like, then why did you ask me for it? She's like, but it's okay, I can put some on your IV. And I was like, okay, that'll be fine. This part gets really interesting. But right after she put in the drug through the IV, I told her, can I go to the restroom? Because I need to pee. And she was like, oh, sweetie, you should have told me that before. And I was just like, I really need to go. And she was like, okay, well, make it quick. So she helped me get all the things, took me to the restroom. Tell me why, right when the door went boom, that drug hit me. Like, it hit me. I was just like, oh my god. I walked in the restroom like I've never been in that restroom before. Oh my god, where's the toilet? And then I saw the toilet and I sat down and it wasn't there. So I kept backing up and I was trying to sit down over here while the toilet's all the way over here. I was not looking exactly where it was. Like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't see right. I was just way too high. I could not, okay? I finally found the toilet and I did my business or whatever. And I was about to wash my hands. But I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't. I don't know why. This is so weird. Like, I can't explain to you why. But for some reason, I couldn't wash my hands. I just felt like it was so many handles, so many things to do. I mean, I know it's obviously just open the water, put some soap, wash, rinse. But to me, that seemed like the most impossible thing to do. That was like a whole mission. And I was like, nope, I'm not about to do that. So I walk out the restroom. And the nurse is like, did you wash your hands, sweetie? And I was like, no. She's like, go in, wash your hands. And I was like, I can't. She's like, just try it. Go inside. Do it. Okay. So I stood there and I was about to fall. So I grab onto the sink and I'm just like, damn, like, I'm not about to wash my hands. I can't do this. Like, it just seemed impossible to me. I couldn't do it. It just seemed like there was so many things to it. Seemed so difficult. So I just walked out and she was like, you washed your hands? And I was like, nope. She's like, why? And I was like, I can't do it. 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 I'm not gonna wash my hands. I can't do it. And she was like, yeah. She was like, okay, fine. And I walk out the room again. It's like I've never been inside that room. I felt like I did not know where my bed was. While I was walking, I was literally falling down. I was so dizzy. I felt so high and I couldn't walk. And my mom and this doctor are trying to grab me and I'm just like, woo. And I lay down and I'm just like, Mom. And she's like, Monday. I was like, Mom, they put drugs in me. She was like, the doctor already told me that they put it on your IV. And I was like, mm-hmm. She was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, Mom, honestly, I'm feeling super drugged. And then I started laughing after that. I was like, Mom, I'm not feeling like myself. I honestly don't remember what I was saying, but I know for a fact I was saying dumb stuff because I remember my mom laughing at me. I mean, throughout the day, she's like waking up and like kind of checking on me. Like every time a doctor walks in, she wakes up and checks on me because like the door is like really loud, so she wakes up. So maybe like an hour passes by and that drug wears off. And then here comes the fever again. And here comes my emotions again. And you know what? I think, honestly, I don't know if it was labor that made all them emotions come out. All my emotions were coming out again. I was feeling depressed at that moment. I was going through all this pain. The fever came back. And then the contractions came back and they came back harder. They came back so much worse. And I was just crying. I'm like, man, I want this to be over. I want this to be over. This sucks. Everyone was asleep, so I had no one to text. I had no one to like chat with. So I was again lonely. And then the doctor, she came to save me. And she was like, Mama, you gotta get out the room. She's gonna have the epidural. And I was like, really? She was like, yes, ma'am. Remember that fever? Remember that pain? Okay, so I have to be like this, right? With my back this way. And there was a lady in front of me and the doctor was behind me. And I'm shaking really bad because my whole back is uncovered because, you know, he has to look at my back. And as I told you, I had to be covered because of that fever. So since I'm naked, my whole body is shaking so bad. And the lady was like, stay still, you know, because you have to stay super still when they put that in your spine, because if you move, something bad could happen. So she was like, stay still, and I was just like shaking, and I was having a contraction. I was having contractions when they were sticking the needle in me. So I was having a contraction and I was shaking because I was cold, and the doctors were just like holding me. They're like, stay still. She gave me a pillow to hug, but I grabbed her and I started hugging her so bad, and I was crying so hard. She's like, it's okay, sweetie. And I think I started hurting her. She was just like, sweetie, grab the pillow. And I was just like, and I was just like this, grabbing onto her. I was like, the doctor, she was like, sweetie, grab the pillow, grab the pillow. And I was just grabbing her. I was like, and they put that needle in. And honestly, right when they took it out, whew, my body felt amazing with no pain. So I was happy. It's like maybe like 4 o'clock already. I'm having no pain. I'm feeling good about myself. Maggie is about to come out. And I asked for another cup of ice, obviously. So I'm munching on this ice. And I'm watching Friends, because Friends was on TV right there at the hospital. And I was just feeling so good. And my mom finally wakes up. She's like, oh my God, I didn't get any sleep. And I was just staring at her like, Mom, you slept through the whole night. Like, Mom, you slept through the whole thing. Like, you just woke up like a few times when doctors came, and she's like, I didn't sleep. I was like, girl, you were snoring. I didn't get sleep that whole time I was there. Because one, I couldn't sleep because I was really happy.
I still can't sleep. Like, I'm just thinking like, wow, like just in a few hours, like she's about to be here. And just that doesn't let me sleep, you know?
And then I couldn't sleep because I was going through all that pain, emotional and physical pain. And now I can't sleep because, again, I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm gonna meet this girl in a few hours. Fast forward to 7 o'clock. I tell this doctor, ma'am, I think the baby's coming out. I was like, yeah, she's about to come out. Like, it's time. And I was like, no, I can feel her head. She's coming out right now. She was like, no, sweetie, like it's almost time. She's almost coming, but we still need some time. And like this lady was not understanding what I was telling her. Like I felt like a bump in my lady area. I felt like a little bump like that. I could see it and it was hard and I could feel it. So I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the head. As I'm telling you, I had the epidural, so I couldn't feel pain. So I wasn't for sure like. But I told this lady and she was like, yeah. Like she was kind of ignoring me, like, no, sweetie, like, we know when it's time. You don't know. Basically, that's what she was telling me. She was checking on the computer and I don't know what she saw. I don't know. She saw the contractions. I don't know what she saw. But she was just like, oh my God. And then me and my mom look at her like, what? I don't know what she was saying, but I just heard the baby. And like 5 doctors came in, rushed into my room. And they just like put this big ass light in my face, like, and the bed part, the bottom part sunk in, and they put these 2 things and they put my legs on top of those. So I was like wide open, and there was like 5 doctors there, and they were like, push. And I was like, what the hell? Like all that literally happened in seconds. That girl called, they walked in and they put that light. They put my legs up all in seconds. So they were like, push. And I was like, what the? And they're like, push. And like, I was pushing so hard. And they're like, come on, keep pushing. And I was just like, oh my God. I did not realize how hard it is to push. This is like insane pushing. And then they stop you and they're like, stop. Breathe. And then they're like, push. And while I'm pushing, I look over to my mom. And she's just standing there like, just like, the thing was she was supposed to be next to me while I'm in labor holding my hand. But I told you, like, everything went fast. Everyone started coming in and everything just happened. They kind of like pushed her to a side. And she was like all the way over there in the corner, like watching Maggie come out. But she wasn't like next to me holding my hand. They grabbed both of my legs and they pulled them towards my body. and they were like, push, 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 Mika, push. I felt so tired, and I felt like I couldn't do it, and I looked at the woman, I'm like, I can't do it, I can't do it. And the lady, she was so supportive. She grabbed my hand and she looked at me in my face. She's like, don't give up, this baby's about to come out, you can do it, sweetie, you can do it. And I was like, you know what, I can. And I was just pushing so hard, and then all of a sudden I just felt relief, and I heard a baby cry. I'm sorry, I heard a little baby cry. She was crying so loud, and that's when I first saw her. That's when I first saw her. That's when I first saw you. And she was so white. She was literally white, like she was shining. And they had took her to the little box thing, and they were cleaning her. And I was just staring at her, and I was waiting for her to come into my arms. And at that moment, I was just so happy. I couldn't wait to hold her. She was so beautiful. She was so little. I couldn't believe like she was actually there. My mama. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. The first time I saw her, it was just yeah, you. I was so emotional. I was so happy. I cried so hard when I saw her. I was so happy, Maggie. I was so happy when I saw you. I couldn't wait to hold you and get you in my arms. And something I didn't know, like I knew the baby comes out and then the placenta comes out, but after that, there's a lot of stuff still inside your body that they push out. While they were cleaning Maggie over there, to me, they were pushing my stomach, and a lot of liquid was just coming out, and they were pushing my stomach really hard. It hurts when they do that. They were like pushing my stomach and everything was coming out. It's so nasty. I did not know that that happens. Right when I thought everything was out of my body, they would push again and so much like liquid and nasty stuff would come out. I honestly had no idea how much comes out. Like, it's not just the baby and the placenta, it's like all this other stuff inside you that they have to get out of your body. Here, I had 1st-degree tear, so they started sewing me. They said I don't feel anything, like I can't feel anything, but I knew that they were sewing me. Like I could feel something, like I can feel like they were doing this. It wasn't pain, but I can feel like they were pulling and they were like sewing. So while they're sewing me, my mom finally goes over to Maggie, takes a picture of her, and then they're like, do you want to hold her? And mom was like, yes. And so I see my mom just carrying Maggie, and she just looked so happy. She was like holding her, and she was smiling. She was like, she's so beautiful. Personally, right when I gave birth, I felt dead. I felt like I was so weak. I mean, I was tired. I didn't get sleep the whole night. I was exhausted. I was just like laying down there, and I just wanted to tell my mom, give me her, like I want to hold her, but I was just staring at her while these people are sewing me. So I'm laying down and I look over to my mom and I'm like, give her to me. And my mom walks over and she hands me this little tiny baby.
Cosita bonita.
Mira la blusita.
Ay, qué bella cosa.
Hey.
She was 6 pounds and 5 ounces. Had a super tiny baby. And once I carried her, she started crying. And this is so weird, but I don't know, I guess my mom instincts came out, and I was like, is she hungry? Like that came out of nowhere. And I was like, she's hungry. And I like about to pull out my boob, and then the doctor walks in and she was gonna come help me. And I was getting nervous. I'm like, how do you breastfeed? Like, obviously I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. But this little girl, when she was born, she was ready to eat. I put her towards my boob and she saw it and she just went And she started sucking on my boob. Like, she knew exactly where it was. She found it quick and she started eating. This girl started eating. I encourage every mama, at least when she's born that day, breastfeed her. Because that first time she ate, like, I felt like there was a connection between us. Like, I felt like we were connected on another level. Like, and she was just, while she was eating, I know babies can't really see when they're newborns, but this girl was looking directly into my eyes. She was looking at me. And I was like, Mama, hey, I'm your mama. And she was just like looking at me, like straight into my eyes. And she was just eating and eating. It was just honestly the best moment of my life. I was happy. I was so happy. I was so happy. Everything happened and I finally have her. I don't think there will be another day to top that day. That day was the best day of my life. Yeah, I went through so much pain, emotional and physical, but I met Maggie. I met Maggie. And I'm glad I met her. I'm glad I went through that whole pregnancy and that labor. And I'm glad I felt what I felt. And I'm glad I went through what I went through. Because honestly, it made me stronger. And it made me appreciate Maggie more. Because even to this day, I'm going through so much. And this girl's the only thing that's keeping me up, keeping me strong, keeping me to keep on going and keep on trying hard. Because obviously I want a good future for my child. And I want to be the best mama for my child. I feel like she's the only one who keeps me pumped, keeps me wanting to go to school, keeps me wanting to try harder. Makes me think of what decisions I make. I used to be so careless. I used to do dumb stuff. And now I think twice for everything. You love me, Mama? You do? I love you too. How could this girl not make you happy, bro? Like, she makes me happy since the day she was born. Look at her. Oh my god. How could you not love this? Yay! Say bye. Bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Just comment down what else you want us to do or what you want to see. I'll try to post as often as I can. She doesn't really let me edit and post.